Ad Creative Testing Masterclass for Facebook ads based on 10 million plus in ad spend with performance like these. So in this video I will walk you through the exact mental model that you need to apply to test Facebook ads successfully and explain you the logic behind it and then show you exactly how to do that. So the way we test is with something called the 3-2-2 method. You might have heard of it. Basically what it tells that per ad creative test we want to test 3 ad creatives, 2 headlines and 2 ad texts. Now this is already extremely important because what I usually see in ad accounts is that they just go in and launch new ad sets based on just random new ideas that they have. And then in the ad set, you just have a bunch of different ads. Especially if you're doing this, pay attention to this right now because this is what will systemize it and what will provide you with a framework of how you can actually find guaranteed winning ads. So basically what we want to do with this method is having an ad set that we launch in this 3-2-2 structure. The 3 ad creatives are not 3 random ad creatives, but basically the same ad concept, but with one variable different. One variable can be the headline, one variable can be the design. If it's a video, one variable can be the visual hook or the text hook or the audio hook of the video or even just the CTA. So what's already very important to understand is that we don't mix different videos or different static ads in one ad set, but we just launch 3 different versions of the same ad creative in that ad set. Then what we also do is we launch it with 2 headlines and 2 ad texts and not just one. Let me explain the purpose of this. If you just have an ad set and you launch there like 3 random ads, let's say random ad 1, random 2, random 3, you'll see that Facebook allocates like most ad spend to one of them that is best performing, let's say random ad 2. But the problem now is ask yourself, what have you actually tested here? You have tested this idea against this idea and this idea. And this might be the best idea because it gets most ad spend and is most scalable. But at the same time, it's not really a valid split test. Like this might be also a winner, this might be also a winner. It's just a test based on your idea, but it doesn't provide you with any learnings. After this test, you don't know exactly why this one didn't get the spend, why this one didn't get the spend. You only know that this is performing and this, well, maybe not, this maybe not, maybe it would if it would get more ad spend. And this is exactly what we want to avoid because every test is basically a new opportunity to learn more about your audience and to learn more about exactly what is performing well in your market. And this is the reason why we make use of this 3-2-2 method. Because if we launch in an ad set 3 variations of the same ad, we know that the version that gets the most spend is actually the best version because everything but one variable is the same. So based on that, we can also learn, okay, why did this specific version of the ad idea perform the best? For example, it can tell you what kind of messaging, what kind of headline performs the best. It can tell you what kind of visual is most scroll stopping or resonates with the audience the most, and so on, depending on what variable is different. It will also highly increase the chances of success of your ad tests if you launch them like this, because then Facebook has actually 3 different ad creative options to spend on. Let's say you messed up the hook of a video ad, well then you have 2 more variations with different hooks that might actually perform. And as you know, the hook is basically 80% of the performance. If your audience doesn't resonate with your hook and doesn't watch the video or doesn't stop, then the rest of the ad is basically just wasted. This is why when you test a video ad, you usually want to make at least 3 different visual hook or text hook variations to give it more chances of performance and actually to see what resonates the most. Now the 2 headlines and the 2 ad text, we do something similar. Although here we don't necessarily test always 2 completely new headlines and ad text, even though it gives the ad best chances of performance, because again, Facebook can just determine that one of these 2 headlines performs better and then just pick this one instead of the other one. Same thing for the ad text. But here we actually want to test the current winning ad text and the current winning headline against a new testing headline and new testing ad text. So for example, let's say your winning headline is free shipping. Now in the next ad test that you run, you want to run this headline against something that you test. So for example, free shipping is your established winning headline. Then you can test this against something like the best cup in the world, if you're selling a cup for whatever reason. You can also run a very similar split test and can test something like free shipping in the US against just free shipping. And this might actually perform better and might be a better headline iteration because this specifies in the US. And then of course, you don't want to run this headline in the UK, let's say, but in the US, people might resonate more with it because then they see it's actually a US store and the benefits are specific to them. Now, of course, the same thing applies to the ad text. So here again, you want to test a new ad text against control. And just by doing that, you will already keep improving your headlines and your ad texts to resonate more and more, to grab more attention and to sell better. And this is how your ads will already improve. This is the strategy basically with the headlines and the ad texts. Now let's look also at the ad creative and what the strategy is there in detail. If we look at the build of a video ad, let's say, then we have something like here the timeline, and then we have here the hook. Then depending on the structure, we might have something like failed solution, then product intro, and then benefits, and at the end CTA. Let's say we go for a structure like this. Now, when you test a completely new ad idea, again, because the hook is the most important thing, you want to make 3 variations. This would be V1, and then just basically make the same ad 3 times, but with different hooks. This is then V2, V3. And then again, the spend will go to the best hook. Let's say it's this one. This is the winning hook. Then you know, okay, this is your winning ad. But with the split testing framework, we don't want to stop already here. This is now your winning ad, but now you can actually analyze and see, okay, what can we improve about this winning ad? For example, let's say it has a good hook rate, but it has a weak hold rate. Then you can actually analyze, okay, looking into the metrics, looking into the average view time, where do we lose the audience? Where do most people keep scrolling? Is it in this point? Is it in this point? Is it in this point? Whatever it is, you identify it. And then you again make a new split test, this 3-2 system, but then you just, have 3 different product intros. If you know that the audience is dropping off at this point, and then you test it again, and that way you can identify a product intro that actually doesn't bore people, but keeps them engaged enough to watch the video to the end. Then you get more people watching the video to the end, and then you get more people to convert. This is one way of how you can improve a winning ad, but there are also many different ways of what you can do to actually multiply the amount of winning ads that you have based on this one winner that you have, because now you can make many different ad concepts, many different ad sets where you have this winning ad, but again, it has just one different variable. For example, it could be the content creator ethnicity. This is especially effective if you run a fashion brand or a beauty brand or something like that, because of course, people of the same ethnicity resonate more with the person of their own ethnicity. And this is how you can sell to them. Basically, you can make this winning ad for different ethnicities, and then they will scale among those audiences. What you can also go and test is, for example, another text hook to test new messaging. If this visual hook, let's say this split test was just a different visual hook, if that performed really well, this hook number 2, you already know what the proven visual is, but it might be that in combination with another text hook, it performs actually much better. Then again, you can make 3 versions from this, version 1, version 2, version 3, with 3 different text hooks on it, and again get like that a new winner, let's say version 1. Then after knowing that is a winning headline, you can use this hook or headline on a static ad, and again make 3 versions with 3 different designs to identify what the winning visual static ad is based on the text hook that's already proven. So you now only have to make a split test of graphics on the static ad. And this is exactly how you can keep iterating all of it, and how you can keep basically your creative flywheel going and get more and more winning ads from this framework. This is exactly how I do it for all the brands that I'm working with. Now, if you have any questions about the theory and about the whole thinking process and ad concepts here, let me know in the comments, ask me a question. But for now, let's move on into the ads manager and actually see how it's implemented there. So let's look into a live ad account and see how we actually have set it up. Here is the main campaign where we test and scale. Here's the amount spent, cost per result, overall performance. You can see it here for January. And now we actually want to go into this and see how we run it. So here we have the different ad sets, and every single ad set is basically just one ad concept, one ad idea. For example, the same video, again, the same promo ad, the same static ad, call out, whatever it is, but with 3 different split testing versions. So let's go into this ad set. Here you can see we have a video running, and that with 3 different hook variations. And one of them, this one, has actually the best performance. So far only 2 purchases, but still the best performance from the spend it got. And these already spent the amount we usually spend on this account to test and didn't get any performance. So we just kept this version and turned the other versions off. Now after a while we will see if this keeps scaling at this ROAS or not, but so far it looks promising. Now if we go into this ad, you can actually see here we are running 2 different headlines, and here actually in this case even 3 different primary texts. You can also do 3, but I usually recommend 2 because then you can just run the control versus the new idea. If you really want to find a new winning primary text, you can also do this, but then keep in mind it will take longer and like more ad spend to actually test this, because just with this new primary text it will have to test all the combinations. So basically this text with this headline, this text with the other headline, and also the same for all the other versions. But this is how we've set it up. Now we know that this one is the winning concept. Here we have actually a very interesting irregularity in this account, because you can see that this one is actually the one that had the best hook rate, but the best hook rate is not always the most profitable ad, because in this case the audience that was hooked by it was way more expensive in terms of the CPM, and for this one it was less expensive. So we know from the split test, it's again basically the same video but 3 different hooks. We know that this kind of hook, so first like something like this and then the content creator talking, is first of all attracts an audience that's less expensive to advertise to, and also an audience that buys in the end. And this is a very valuable learning that we can now apply in all new ad ideas and all new ad concept tests that we run from now on. So I hope this 3-to-2 structure and the whole meaning and purpose behind it is clear now. When you have a new winning ad set, a new winning idea, as you do that, you can just take this ad set and scale within your main testing and scaling campaign. If you want a video on how to actually set up the best possible and most simplest ad account structure, check out this video where I exactly talk about it. And also if you need help with ad creatives and need someone to provide you with high quality ad creatives every single month or run the ads for you, click the first link in the description. Let's set up a call and we can discuss how I can do this for you. Cheers.